Not our Sunset. Moving to Canterlot City. I approached the door to my mother's house. I had just moved here from Manhattan after my dad was convicted of 13 counts of robbery and 3 counts of murder. I took a breath before knocking 3 times. Exactly 5 seconds later, a woman who looked around 40 answered the door. She stared at me for a few seconds before letting me in. "Well, welcome," she smiled. "You must be my daughter, right? It's finally nice to meet you. Come in, come in." Yeah, I mumbled. "Where do I sleep? It's been a long ride." "The door without a mark on it," she smiled. "Do you need anything to eat?" "I'm fine," I replied. "I just feel like sitting alone with my music." "Oh, okay," she smiled. "If you need anything, just ask me, please." Thanks." I smiled back before heading through the house to a bare white door in a row of 3. The other 2 each had a sun and moon on it. I opened up the door and walked in, noticing how bare it was. Other than a few... Wait. These are marshmallow pillows. I had a feeling she knew about my love for EDM. Surprisingly, since she never cared for me before now. I shrugged it off and pulled my phone out and putting my earbuds in. I scrolled for a bit before stumbling on Friends. I clicked on it and laid back, closing my eyes. What felt like a few minutes later, but was probably more due to the fact that we were somewhere in Joytime 2. I woke up to a knocking on the door, and the door opened slightly, revealing a blue woman who looked younger than my mother by just a few years. "My sister wishes to see you," she told me. "I would advise you that you listen to her." "What makes you think I wouldn't?" I asked, offended. "Well, you haven't the best history," she deadpanned. "Running away, 10 counts of assault, and caught with drugs more than once." Fair point," I replied. "Alright, I'll be out in a minute." "Thank you," she smiled. "I'd hate to see my sister on another rampage." "Another?" I raised my eyebrow. She looked down at me and giggled before stepping out. I picked up my jacket, which I had thrown on the floor, before lying down. I threw it over my shoulder and stepped out of the room, and I took a right turn, heading down the hall to the living room. The house was nicely sized, having 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. The living room was directly connected to every room, not including the bathrooms, and I stepped into the living room. My mother was just sitting on a white couch next to a woman who had entered my room. My mother motioned towards a chair next to a window, only about 2 feet from the couch. I sat down, instantly being absorbed by it. "So?" my mother said. "I would like to say that we've already enrolled at Canterlot High. Oh, and don't think about skipping. I know every inch of the school, being the principal and all." "What?" I exclaimed in shock. They did what?" "Yes," the blue female said. "You will be going to Canterlot High. We've examined all of your previous classes and made a schedule for you. Here's a copy. Tell us if you'd like to change anything." She handed me a sheet of paper, which I examined. I had astronomy first period, then English 3, followed by Spanish 3, calculus, show band, history, show choir, and finally technology. "It's fine," I told them. My mother nodded approvingly, giving a faint smile. The rest of the day was pretty basic. I had gone back to my room and set up my laptop, which I had bought a couple years back. A big MacBook Air. It ran pretty well from being around 2015. I opened up my Pony S, streaming, and started to stream. I opened my most commonly streamed game, Team Fortress 2. It was loaded up and viewers just came rolling in. I entered a competitive game full of noobs as usual. I mained a spy, making the game so much more easier for me. Then, Wi-Fi crashed. "Ah, crap!" I shouted, slamming my laptop shut. I should have known we ran off of cheap Wi-Fi, but I pulled out my phone and made a tweet about it before attempting to call my best friend, Adagio Dazzle. A few seconds, she answered. "Sunny Bunny," she smiled cheerily, her face popping up on the screen. I smiled and waved. "What's up, Daji?" I asked. "Oh, nothing," she said. "Just Sony and Aerie finally kissed." "Those 2 finally fell in love?" I giggled. "I'm surprised." "Screw you, Sunset," a voice yelled from across Daji's apartment. The voice was Aria Blaze, or Ari, as we called her. I heard a giggle from close to Ari. "Sunny!" A bright blue blur jumped next to Daji, and this was Sonata, or Sony. Arya sat on the other side of Adagio, who sighed and just drooped her head. "Well," Daji smiled, "how's it on your end?" "Well, Crappy Wi-Fi, I replied. Mother chose all of my classes, Mother is a principal, and so much more crap. But other than that, fine. Dang, Arya laughed. Must suck. Out here, we totally had top-speed Wi-Fi and streamed sub counts over 10,000. Oh, screw off, I replied, giggling. It's nice to talk to you all. Hey, you should come visit Canterlot sometime. Ooh, Sony said, jumping in front of the camera. We totally should! I think that would be wonderful, Dashi replied, shoving her away. But how would we? You know how my mother is. She still gets tense whenever Ari and Sony come over. Man, your mom sucks, I told her. No duh, Dashi replied. I mean, my phone died. Of all the things, my phone died. I threw my phone against the wall before lying down on the marshmallow pillow. This was going to be a long week, and it didn't help that I hated my mom more than anything on this planet.